Let's see what Mehdi Hasan had to say.
Politician on the right who we should all be worried about, who's on the rise today. A politician who has brushed off accusations of fascism while dabbling in the Great Replacement theory. A politician who wants, quote, secure borders because of dangerous Muslim immigrants, who has minimized the threat from COVID and cast doubt on COVID vaccines, and who wants a return to the traditional family free from the influence of so-called LGBTQ lobbies and the evil influence of Disney. No, I'm not talking about Donald Trump or Marjorie Taylor Greene or even Ron DeSantis. I'm talking about Giorgia Meloni. Giorgia who? Giorgia Meloni, leader of the far-right Brothers of Italy party. She's in the final weeks of campaigning ahead of Italy's elections later this month, and she is poised to become Italy's first woman prime minister and its first far-right leader since Benito Mussolini himself. It would be unprecedented in modern times for a Western European country and close ally of the United States to have a leader that right-wing from a party with fascist roots, no less. But Meloni says it's nothing to worry about. Take a listen.
I am Giorgia Meloni, I am 45 years old, and I am the president of Fratelli d'Italia, the political party of Italian conservatives. 4 days I have been reading articles in the international press about the upcoming elections that will give Italy a new government, in which I am described as a danger to democracy, to Italian, European and international stability.
Meloni claims she's not a fascist, but the connection is too close for comfort. First of all, fascism was born in Italy when Mussolini coined the term a century ago, and Meloni's party is a direct descendant of the Italian social movement, a group formed after the Second World War by Mussolini's allies. The flame logo used by Meloni's party today even used to be the symbol of the Italian social movement. As a 19-year-old activist, she even said, quote, Mussolini was a good politician in that everything he did for Italy. Maybe it's not fair to take her to task for something she said 20 years ago. But Benito Mussolini's own granddaughter is currently a member of Meloni's Brothers of Italy party. Meloni herself has praised a member of Mussolini's government. And if these fascist roots aren't enough to scare you, just take a look at her policies. She's extremely anti-immigration, proposing a border wall-esque naval blockade to stop North Africans from entering the country. And she's got a great Tucker Carlson impression, echoing his oft-espoused Great Replacement theory by labeling illegal immigration as, quote, ethnic substitution. Meloni also opposes adoption by same-sex couples and has slammed Disney for having gay characters in Frozen 2. And her party also has a history of limiting access to abortion. Oh, and here she is on stage with her admirer Steve Bannon. Yes, that's Steve Bannon. So you might be thinking, America's going fascist, I'm going to move to Europe to get away from it all. Well, Italy, where fascism began, they're trending fascist too. But it's not just Italy. There's France, where, remember, Marine Le Pen made it to the final 2 presidential runoff in April and seems to inch closer to power every few years. Okay, so no France, no Italy, but what about lovely, quiet, progressive Scandinavia? Well, more bad news, I'm afraid, for those of us concerned about the global rise of neo-fascism. Check out Sweden, where a party with neo-Nazi origins, the confusingly named Sweden Democrats, surprised everyone in Sunday's election. It's still too close to call, but they've won more than 20% of the vote and could become Sweden's biggest party. Have a listen to the party's leader celebrate its success.
What a bunch of fucking nerds.
Det är 12 år sedan. Då kom vi in i riksdagen. Jag tror vi fick 5,7% till slut. Just nu har vi 20,7%.
Okay, sure. Jimmy Åkesson, leader of the party, might not look that threatening, but the party he leads, the Sweden Democrats.
Honestly, the fucking years-long game plan. What is the common denominator that we are seeing as the results of years of neoliberal austerity and the privatization of industry, in the full-on neglect and degradation of our communities, of our institutions? We are seeing the appeal to right-wing populism on the heels of years, decades of austerity measures implemented during the era of neoliberalism. The answer to the issues caused by decades of austerity would be public investments that can only be accomplished through a restructuring of government programs, usually fiscal policies that will be offering taxation to take bigger cuts from the billionaire class who at present have every single opportunity to not pay taxes. It's taxing the rich the fair share amount that they owe in order to pay for the necessary investments back into a community that includes jobs, that includes housing, that includes education. That is the only way that you are ever going to undo the damage done by neoliberal austerity. But instead, right-wingers know that this is their opportunity to call on the government in the way that it's functioning or lack thereof, because there is no bureaucratic programming that is ever going to go far enough, that is ever going to do the job of what a public policy that is fully funded, that is universal, will do. But also, do they want to offer universal programming that could ultimately even the playing field and address some of the systemic inequalities built into our own governmental systems, into our own institutions, into our societal fabric? No. No, they don't want to do that either. I can't believe that some people are falling so victim to this disinformation, preying upon your own lack of material. It's not even, I mean, material inequality is very much baked within our current caste-like system, but appealing to the white working class, that's what Trump did, and it was very effective. It was highly effective, preying upon the erosion of our own economic stability is the perfect way to garner support necessary to fully embrace fascism that will never ever be called as such. It'll be called family values. It'll be called Christian nationalism. It'll be called whatever it needs to be called, because you can't call it what it actually is. It's not even like the petit bourgeois, though. Think about it. Think about, I mean, a lot of Trumpsters are, yes, members of the petit bourgeois. See? A lot aren't. A lot aren't. Like, there's far more working class folk than petit bourgeoisie in this country. Think about all the people who showed up, came out of the woodwork to support Trump in 2016, especially. I think a lot are. A lot of Trump's most loyal voters, supporters, they are. Damn right, we outnumber all the HVAC owners out there in America, but there was still a large enough block of working class white people who held on to everything Donald Trump said. Do you know the only other place where you had the largest concentration of Trump supporters per capita, other than the little pocket in Manhattan where he had, the most support because of, maybe his workers, the developers, the Wall Street bankers supporting Donald Trump? It was West Virginia. What the fuck does Donald Trump have to offer the people of West Virginia? Second, Only to that little pocket of, people in Manhattan.
Democrats have a dark history similar to that of Giorgia Meloni and the Brothers of Italy. Although the party has denounced neo-Nazism in 2009, Åkesson wrote that Muslim immigration to Sweden was our biggest foreign threat since the Second World War. Just last month, the party's legal spokesman tweeted, "Welcome aboard with a one-way ticket, next stop Kabul," along with a photo of the Sweden Democrats' Repatriation Express. Charming. After welcoming millions of immigrants and 500,000 asylum seekers, Sweden became one of the most multicultural European countries in recent decades. And so perhaps predictably, xenophobia combined with a rise in shootings and violent crime have allowed the anti-immigrant, nativist, far-right agenda of the Sweden Democrats to take hold. And some local Swedes are worried too.
I don't like their tone, how they talk about integration and immigration and stuff, and I don't like their approach to it, basically, and I'm scared that they are like shifting the whole parties and every party to the right.
I think it's disgraceful. It's nothing that I think Sweden want to be like. If I make a parallel to what happened in the US, when Trump got into power, everyone thought that it was something really incredible, couldn't ever happen here, but now it is, and it feels very strange.
Anti-immigrant sentiment, rising crime, rising food costs, and surging energy prices from the war in Ukraine. Is it possible to pinpoint what exactly is driving this worryingly far-right movement across America? But the truth is, we in America are not alone. Fascism, whether semi or not, is a global problem.